Ghanaians united will never be divided.
We want to acknowledge the fight of our LGBTQI siblings in Ghana.
With or without makeup, they see me. I am a target. A lot of people want to see me perish.
It is clear that it's no for us in this country, irrespective of whatever the international community will think about us.
Homosexuality existed in Africa way before our colonial masters. So what is being imported is hate. What is being imported is homophobia.
Queer Ghanaians are going through the country's most intense crackdown yet.
LGBTQIAAP+.
A new bill making its way through Parliament would criminalize everything from queer identity to advocacy. It would disband all queer rights groups on top of punishing a range of offenses that can carry up to 10 years in prison. Angel Maxine has protested the bill since it was introduced. She's Ghana's only openly trans musician, and if the bill passes, she could be jailed for 5 years.
So this is my home.
Okay.
This actually was like a worship center where my parents and my siblings, we meet to have morning devotions, Sunday services. My father is a Christian, a reverend, but he believes in all religions. So if you come here, if it's Islam, you want to read, you'll find it here. Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism, Catholic, Pentecostal, whatever.
All the bases covered.
All the basics, everything is here.
Do you consider yourself religious?
I'm a religious person. Yes, very religious. Very, very.
How have your parents been throughout your journey?
Yeah, you see, from the beginning, it wasn't that easy. My father still doesn't understand me in a way. But for my mom, she is 100% in support of everything I do.
What do you think has been driving a lot of the homophobia and transphobia that we're seeing?
Yeah, you see, people are failing to understand. People are not ready to embrace change. They feel it's a Western culture and it's not aligned with our culture and our morals in Ghana. That's what they think.
Angel says she's been robbed, evicted, and attacked countless times in the past 5 years. So she's using music to call for queer acceptance.
I'm sorry, oh, sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
The only sin is homophobia.
You've been channeling your experiences into music. So you came out with Wofie. So what does that mean?
Wofie means your home. Every LGBT comes from a home. So who is accusing somebody of being gay, lesbian, check deep down your background. There's a gay, there's a lesbian in your home. So stop judging, stop criticizing, stop making people feel bad.
What kind of reaction have you gotten to your music?
A lot of people loved it. They pretend they don't like it, but they play it in their rooms. So I think they love it.
Her latest song calls out Ghana's political and religious leaders.
Kill that bill. Love no be hate. You greedy politicians, I feel like you care.
Kill it. Kill it. Kill the bill.
I didn't think you were going to survive that.
Oh, I was
right to the end. Let's get it.
This bill is sparking debate about what is and isn't Ghanaian culture. Influential conservatives say LGBTQ rights are a Western import.
We cannot embrace what at the end of the day is completely alien to our culture, to our tradition, to everything we stand for.
But many queer activists say their oppression actually stems from colonialism. Ghanaian law doesn't explicitly ban homosexuality, but it does criminalize unnatural carnal knowledge, a leftover term from colonial codes that's interpreted to include gay men. This isn't just in Ghana. At least 39 countries, all former British colonies, inherited similarly vague or more straightforward anti-sodomy laws. Rights groups in Ghana say keeping this law has created a climate of discrimination and violence with impunity. In May, Julia Selman Ayete helped defend 21 people arrested at a training on how to report human rights abuses of queer people.
It had nothing to do with legally any sexual act, anything having to do with homosexuality.
Unnatural carnal
knowledge. They were charged with unlawful assembly under Section 202 of our Criminal Offences Act. And I'm just giving you what that definition is.
And so it says here it's with intent to commit an offense. Yeah. What was that offense?
That's why they withdrew the case, because there was really nothing, no evidence whatsoever to link the charge to the grounds on which they were arrested.
The bill leaves no room for any question. It clearly criminalizes anyone who is queer and an ally. How does it hold up against Ghana's constitution?
Article 15 of the Constitution says that the dignity of all persons shall be inviolable. And there are many provisions in here that, in the bill, arguably infringe on an individual's right to dignity if they are a member of the LGBT community.
This year's crackdown on queer Ghanaians didn't start with the bill. In February, an LGBTQ community center opened in the capital, Accra. Within weeks, it was raided by authorities, then shut down. They've since had to strategize against the bill online or in secret.
I'm going to start with those here in the safe house.
Hi everyone, good evening.
My name is Francis. Right, I'm the coordinator for legal.
Why do you think the queer community became such a target this year?
People have been more accepting worldwide of the queer community, and queer people in Ghana have tried to also sort of come out more boldly. I feel that's why people have hammered down specifically in recent times about everything going on in the queer community.
It's a political strategy. LGBTQ sells. In a religious sphere, it sells. In a political sphere, it sells. These groups can come together because they have one common goal. They have one common vulnerable community that they can prey on.
Do you think it's possible to actually change hearts and minds, or is your focus more applying pressure?
Both.
Yeah,
both, actually.
Yeah, our strategy is like both sides of the coin. If the bill is thrown out, we are hoping there'll still be backlash. So we are hoping to mitigate that.
Also, we're trying to shift the narrative from just basing on sex. Human beings are not just sex objects. Human beings are human beings who actually want to feel love, want to feel protection, want to grow, want to contribute to the society. That's what actually we're trying for people to get to understand.
One of the recurring themes that we've seen throughout the debate is this tension between African values and the role of Western influences.
Homosexuality existed in Africa way before the coming of our colonial masters. So what is being imported is hate. What is being imported is homophobia.
African value is supposed to be love, peace, prosperity, growth. Those are African values. So when sometimes I hear people talking about African values, I tend to ask myself, what African values are you actually trying to talk about?
Ghana is technically a secular state, but it's a majority Christian country. And the issue of LGBTQ rights here is blurring the line between politics and religion. The Methodist Church is one of the country's largest and oldest denominations. It came out in strong support of the bill under its head, Bishop Paul Kwabena Boafo. How common is it for the Methodist Church to be involved politically?
The church has always been the conscience of the people. The church has a say, and the church plays its role. And that is the role we are playing in Parliament.
So I presume you've read the bill in its entirety?
I wouldn't say in its entirety, but I can pick some of the things that are within.
It criminalizes any advocacy or support for the queer community. It promotes conversion therapy. Do you agree with the bill in its actual entirety?
The bill even comes out with support systems for those who are found in this homosexuality. And in helping them, it's not in a way criminalizing them. The word as used as criminal, for me, is not the right word, but maybe they have gone the wrong way. How do we, as society, help to correct?
Well, the bill actually allows for jail time for a range of offenses.
Yeah.
So that is criminalizing.
Right. You see, we should also look at it within the context of what is the same-sex project trying to bring to society. And if people are there just to promote it, just to undermine the very structures that make us, that identifies us as a people, then in that case, it becomes a criminal issue.
We've spoken to queer Ghanaians who fear for their lives, fear for their livelihoods. Do you worry that this bill could make them more of a target?
There is nothing for them to fear. Yes.
But they've already been
what are they afraid of?
Experiencing discrimination and harassment.
From where?
Other civilians, harassment by authorities.
Well. Not from the church's perspective. Not from the church's perspective. For that one, I can assure you.
Have you ever spoken to a queer person about their experiences?
No, I haven't.
May every chapter caught up in LGBTQI be arrested by the power of the Holy Spirit.
In March, an interreligious coalition organized a prayer rally against homosexuality. The event was attended by the nation's top faith leaders, traditional chiefs, and members of parliament, including Emmanuel Betra. You co-sponsored the bill, which promotes what it calls proper sexual human rights and Ghanaian family values. What are those values?
The Ghanaian value system, when it comes to marriage, is between man and a woman. Simple. And God has given us this land to procreate. A man cannot procreate with another man. A woman cannot procreate with another woman.
But the bill goes much farther than that. How do you count for criminalizing advocacy, criminalizing PDA, none of which tie back to formalizing marriage between two people of the same gender?
We are in a new age where laws should be amended, laws should be looked at. But, Master, this is a bill. It will go through some process. It's possible that we may take certain things out or add certain things to it. So it's not cast in stone.
The bill mentions that a person can get a lesser sentence if they recant or seek approved medical help.
Exactly.
Does that refer to conversion therapy?
Yes, of course, it is.
It's a practice that has been medically discredited, and there have been higher rates of suicide, depression, mental health issues. How do you reconcile that with the fact that it's an option that you're providing?
Among the coalition, we have psychologists, we have sociologists, we have endocrinologists, we have all kinds of medical professionals who are members of this coalition, and they have given us their word that in Ghana, we've not had any occasion of anybody committing suicide.
Ghana has this reputation for being a beacon of freedom, democracy. What do you think this bill is doing to Ghana's public image and potentially economic interests?
This did not start with the current parliament. From leadership, from previous leaders, it is clear that it's no for us in this country. Irrespective of whatever the international community will think about us, it is our culture.
The U.S. sanctioned Uganda in 2014 for its anti-gay law. Are you at all concerned about economic consequences should this bill pass?
There won't be any economic consequences. Ghana has a part to play in the international community. U.S. has a part to play. We also have our part to play. So there will not be any sanction.
Ghanaians united will never be divided.
UN human rights experts warned the draft bill would amount to state-sponsored discrimination and violence. Ghanaians in the UK and North America have rallied against the bill in hopes of applying international pressure.
Every Ghanaian at home and in the diaspora must stand up and speak out to reject the spirit of colonization that this LGBTQ+ hate bill represents.
What's seasoning the chicken?
Maxine's mom knows firsthand what it's like to fight against societal pressures.
Yes, I can have this.
Thank you. What made it difficult to accept Angel's identity?
You're afraid of society. How society will judge you. How you'll be condemned. It wasn't easy. Honestly, it's not easy to accept. When I hear there's a prayer going on here, hey, let's go. I'll pull it, let's go. Because I know they said to me, it was demonic. So I want them to cut that demon out of her. And one day we was sitting down, she said, Mommy, so are you sure I can be changed the way you want? In fact, that day, I didn't say anything. I went into the room, I cried. Because I felt so sad for my daughter. When I'm walking with her, oh, the attack I received, the insult, the humiliation.
What do you think it will take to actually have complete acceptance of the queer community? Is it possible?
It's not possible.
These people are afraid. Already society has made them to fear. So they can't come out to fight for themselves. You see? So people like us, the mothers, we have to get up and fight for our children.
Parliament still has to debate the bill, but if it goes through, it'll be up to President Nana Akufo-Addo, a former human rights lawyer, to either sign or kill it. What if the bill passes? What will you do?
If I have the chance to, I will leave. If I have the chance to, maybe I'll just kill myself and be free. That's all, because I will not. Yes. Because I cannot live in bondage. This is bondage. And I've lived in bondage my whole life. I will not let anybody take my happiness away from me.